My wife and I just got back from the Sandals Resort in St. Lucia. We were celebrating our 20th anniversary and we had an awesome time. You know my content. If you don't know it, check it out. I'm an observer, I'm a scientist. I couldn't help but notice some things about human beings, especially in a place like that. Obviously, sandals isn't a cheap thing to do, but it's not super exclusive either. It's just expensive enough that most people can afford it. There were people from all over the world there, but it was mostly Americans in the Caribbean just hanging out. Here are the top 5 observations I noticed with a little bonus at the end. So, number 5, guys, you need to do better. Okay, we need to do better as a sex. Y'all need to do a little bit better about getting in the gym. Okay, multiple guys walking around, over 300 pounds, and I'm not attacking anybody. I am not any better than anyone else, but I have a tendency to think that being physically fit is part of our job as a guy, as a man, to stay in shape. If you take care of yourself, you have a tendency to last longer. What we saw at the resort was mainly the guys themselves. A lot of them were way overweight, definitely would get winded walking up a flight of stairs. But the women, the wives and the ladies that were with these guys, a lot of them took care of themselves. They weren't supermodels, but for the most part, the ladies did a much better job of taking care of themselves. And guys, we need to do better. We're not talking about going out there and running marathons, but just take it easy on the cheeseburgers and, make a little bit of effort. Get on a bike, go for a walk, do something. Because if you're north of 300 pounds and you're only 5'10", that's a risk factor. And I want you to have a healthy life. And that's one of the reasons why I do this material and I put myself out there. Like I said, I'm not ripped. I'm not a cut dude, but I try to take care of myself. It'll make you feel better. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 4, we didn't really notice couples that were at the age where you're going to have small children, so the 30-somethings. So either there were newlyweds or they were empty nesters. We noticed that almost immediately as well. So people about our age, we're in our upper 40s. We still have teens as kids. We just didn't see a whole lot of folks that were in our stage, and definitely people that didn't have young babies or babies that were about age 3 to 5, right around there. We just didn't see a whole lot of folks at that point. But if you find yourself in the 7 to 10 year marriage area, that is a very, very high risk area for divorce. Okay, you need to take care of your marriage first, prioritize that. And I understand that not everybody has family around to take care of your kids, but you need to make that effort. Okay, you don't have to go to a fancy resort to do that either. Just getting out of town just for a weekend or even just for a night can really make a big difference in your marriage and relationship. It is very, very important. But we just didn't see a whole lot of those folks in that stage of life while we were there. So that's number 4. Number 3, most people are well-mannered, but all it takes is one person to embarrass everyone, okay? You know what I'm talking about, just that one rude person that's demanding. We had one person walk right in front of us as we got off the plane into customs, and just completely rude. And all it takes is one person like that to really ruin your experience. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Just think of others. It's not that hard. It was super embarrassing for us as Americans. We're in a foreign country. We're in the Caribbean. Most people are pretty laid back. And somebody like that comes along and it's it's pretty noticeable. So don't be that guy. So that was a simple one. Number 3, don't be rude. If you like this material, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate everybody that's done that so far. Just getting started with this channel. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. Number 2, the locals especially in the Caribbean, they march to a different beat. If you've ever been there, you understand what I'm talking about. They're much more chill and friendly. They walk at a slower pace. They have a tendency to serve you a little bit slower than than you're used to in the U.S. We as Americans and the U.S. and Western culture really can learn a lot from those folks. Okay, we have a tendency to get all riled up and just go, 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 go. And these folks, they're just in the moment, very friendly. Island time is something that's a cliche, something that's talked about often when you're there, because us as Americans, we're usually on a schedule. We've got to get to certain places at certain times, but when you're there, it's on island time, which is just we'll just get to it as we get to it. We could learn a lot from that culture. So that's number 2. Number 1, the biggest thing that I took home from this particular trip, it's this. Your life is inescapable, so you need to make it count. I like my life. My wife likes her life. We like our life together. And I was ready to get back to it. So if you have a tendency to go on vacation and dread coming home, you've got some work to do. Life is short. It passes by in a hurry. And I didn't mind getting back to my life, getting back to recording these episodes for you, and just getting back to work. It was a great experience. But if you don't like your life and you find yourself trying to do something like a vacation or getting away as an escape, that could be your wake-up call. And probably got a little bit of work to do if I'm ringing a bell for you. So that's the top 5. But I've got a bonus for you. This trip was a 20-year anniversary trip for us, so it was a little bit lengthier than our normal trips that we take. And when you think adults-only resort, couples retreat, you have a tendency to think sex, right? Sex is important in a marriage, in a relationship. But if your home sex life is not that great, it's only going to go so far. She's going to feel a little bit pressured, fellas. I'm talking directly to you. If you're on a vacation like this, if you're away for a couple days, she's going to feel pressured to perform. So concentrate on your home sex life before you rely on a weekend away or a trip. Okay, so there's your bonus. So there you have it. Those were my observations going through a Sandals Resort for 3 days. Get away as a couple. It's super important. Especially if you've got kids. If you find yourself in that 7 to 10 year mark where you've got small kids and maybe things weren't as good as they once were, a weekend away would definitely hit the spot. If you haven't been to Sandals, I highly recommend it. It was great. I just love watching people. It's a fun thing to do, and it's not that I'm making fun of people. It's just that these type of things were pretty obvious to my wife and I both, and wanted to share it with y'all. So until next time, be better than you were yesterday and be desirable.